the Dark Enlightenment with your host, MARKSSIUS Hill, aka House Hill, the 2-3 of MCs. Welcome to Enlightenment. Peace.
Yo, Enlightenment family. Today we just chilling with my boy Henry. The young man caught my attention because of his smooth demeanor. You know what I'm saying? Man, a few words, just sitting back, observing things. But when he did speak, you know, he said a lot of things that caught my ear. And one of the things I remember he said is, it's wiser to move at a snail's pace. Move like a snail. Because we were talking about the laws of nature and how nature applies to life. And he said because a snail, if he moves too fast, he'll lose all this water out of his body and he'll deplete himself. He'll kill himself. So Henry, man, where you come about this type of knowledge and wisdom, man, at such a young age, bro?
Man, working and just observing a lot of things, books. I know I like to read a lot. I was a very curious kid and I always wanted to know more and seek more on how to be a better person. But I was interested in people like Albert Einstein. Why was he so smart? What made him smart? What made him become smart? Why did he want to know more? So that made me more curious and things like that.
Mass and energy are both but different manifestations of the same thing, a somewhat unfamiliar conception for the average mind. Furthermore, the equation E is equal mc squared, in which energy is put equal to mass multiplied with the square of the velocity of light, showed that very small amount of mass may be converted into a very large amount of energy, and vice versa.
Tell me, how old are you, Henry?
I'm 22.
22 years old. Okay. See, the mentality is what we want to focus on when we're going to be speaking to our youth. We don't always want to have a lot of OGs on here. We want to have the youth on here. And for y'all that don't know, G, for me, don't mean gangster. It means God. You know what I mean?
And y'all like the ones that are still propagating the gang culture, that's unfortunate. And you know, a lot of people don't like Charleston White because he goes against a lot of the great gang culture. So, you know, it's like a third rail situation. You touch it, you might be electrified. Stop propagating bullshit.
What is bullshit, sir?
If bullshit is destroying people that look like you, if you're destroying anything that has to do with you or your family legacy, what your kids gonna grow up in and all that, what's the question? What are we doing here?
So we have these young guys on here. Henry, I know he's a Christian. How does Christianity fit into your life, your spiritual journey?
I've been through a lot undercover that my parents don't know about, and I always grew up in a Christian home, and it led me to know that I wanted to be more connected to Him because I saw how people feel without Christ. You know what I'm saying? We go through stuff, we get attacked by Him, even though we're in Christ. But when you sit back and you kind of relax, that's when you need to be worried about Him and not attacked. That means He could be in your house, He can be you. You know what I'm saying? So as a Christian, I feel like salvation is serious. We gotta be able to take it serious in salvation, cry to God, submit to Him.
Me and Henry, we don't exactly have the same religious beliefs, but I believe we have the same spiritual beliefs because we gravitate towards that positive energy. We do both believe in God, believe He's worthy of veneration. He's the creator of us, so He's worthy of that. And it's a couple nuances that we ain't gonna get into because we respect each other's beliefs no matter what. You know what I mean? We more so respect each other as men or above all, and then we move into other arenas. You know what I mean? But as long as that respect remains, none of that really means anything. That's why I gravitated to Henry, because of his energy, his vibe. You know what I mean?
This is the love. It's just beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful love.
I want y'all to take note of that. Was your father in your life, Henry?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did he influence the way you think? You think he influenced your life any?
Most definitely. He gave me to a book, and it was never validation to me. And most men, we don't see that today. We see put downs instead of hard, tough love. Tough love is totally different from put down.
Oh yeah.
My father, he basically made me better by making me understand, hey, you're a black man. You already got 3 strikes against you, so you're already kind of outcast. So that made me realize when I went to school, my father was dependent. Rather not having a father, I'm trying to encourage people. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different when you got a father, he dependent on you to be the best you can be versus trying to be the best somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
That's bars.
Yeah.
It seems like he was a pretty big influence. How about your mother?
Yeah, she was a very nurturing woman. She always nurtured us at home. My father, growing up when I was young, he'll work, she'll stay at home. And she, at the time, she was getting in nursing homes and stuff like that. She started going to Grand Canyon University and she became a teacher. I learned from her too. She's a very smart lady, and I respect her for her grind. But she also stayed in school for a good 10 years. When she transferred to be a teacher from nursing, and she's a beast at what she does, teachers.
Do you think you want to have a family one day, Henry?
As a man, the world we live in, we know what we see today in the toxic things we see on Instagram. But as a man, I was born to want a family. Of course, I want a family. You know what I mean? And I'm not giving up on not having. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, but
it's
you
hard.
Can't give up.
Can't give up. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? You got the temptations out there.
That's
right. You know, it's my hormones is at its highest peak.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to have a family, and not just to be a provider or a protector, but also be a leader and let her come to my side, come along with my journey.
That's right.
That's every man's desire. So no doubt. Be lying if you say you don't want a family.
Yeah, I think every man does want a family. I think that's a good point that you made right there. Would you want your wife to be working, or would you want to be the main provider? You ever thought about anything like that?
I mean, I of course I definitely want her to work, but I'm definitely gonna be the breadwinner in the family, because it cannot go 50-50. I don't believe in that. Sure. But as far as work-wise, I wouldn't want her working like overtime too much, because I want my kids to be nurtured. I want my daughter to know how to be loved and be taking traits that her mother has, and my son more with me, of course. He can have a little nourishment, but of course I would want him a little more on the real side, tough love as my father gave, and I would want her to kind of just play a little on it. I wouldn't want her too much.
Yeah, well, I think that tough love is so necessary for us, because when we have just mother's love, that unconditional, just that smothering, just she'll give you anything type love. Like, you need that man saying, no, get your ass in line. Come over here, do this.
Exactly.
Giving commands, you taking authority. You gotta be used to authority.
Everybody know when Pop speak, his tone sound almost like he'd kill you. Like, man, like, he really meant that. Mother can yell all night, yell all day. But Pop say something, you shiver a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I still, you know what I'm saying? When Pop say something, I gotta listen.
That's right. And there wasn't no talk back
No
then
talk
with
back
Pop.
then.
You know, with Mom, yeah. But Pop, okay.
He grabbed anything by the counter, you know what I'm saying? Anything by the counter, he hit.
No doubt. No doubt.
Sure, gotta respect.
So that's a memorandum to all of us young and old black men, dark complexion, melanated people. Man, we got to be in these kids' lives, man. No doubt. Like, it's the key to Henry's success and all his predecessors and all the people that's gonna come after him. It's a key to the future. So we gotta do it, brother.
The truth is, we really hurt him, man. We act like we pretending to be men. I see it so much in kids, not just with father, but fatherless more on their end, because it's like, it's no guide, so we're missing like griots, and people don't know what that is, but watching from Charles, Charles and White, I know in research into that, and I was like, griot is crazy. People don't know about the African tribe. We're missing that gap on God, and not just us as our end, but on your end too.
No doubt. That generation's hurt for the record. I don't think my generation was the greatest. Man, we let our youngsters down, and my father's generation let my generation down. From Martin Luther King and Malcolm X days, and how we was united, the Young One Front, we was in bad shape, but we was still in better shape.
Yeah. True soldiers, baby. It's more watching what do we have, what can we do, what can we flex, what can we show to the woman what we got. It's not all about hee ha ha, look what I got. Are you a man first before money? Are you a man in the struggle? What are you in the struggle? What are you on building your foundation? When that person tried to put you down and manipulate you with words, simple things, or even in the street, we know we got it in there, trying to tempt you, and kids that are being manipulated in the home. What are you gonna do when you see that kid go in, run in his room and hide that emotion? You can't let it go. You don't know how to bring it out and talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like gonna come out sometime. Who knows when?
That's right.
Come up 10 years from later, and he can retaliate in a way nobody expected.
So do you believe in counseling? What you think your people, your generation believe about counseling? They say, oh, that's some bull crap, we ain't going there. Or we don't need that, or do they say, maybe we need to go see somebody?
Man, I don't even think we do counseling. All we do is mix Hennessy drinks and get off work and do crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't do counseling. We never. That's our problem. We don't have the time to sit down and come to the table. What family can you walk in the house that's literally sitting down and talking in unity right now? Nobody's doing it.
I thought it was so crazy back when I was young, man. I used to hate it because all my friends, some of them used to eat in their rooms and stuff. My mom used to make us all come to the table and we all eat as a family. I'm like, man, what's up with this?
That was hidden counseling. My mom gave us about how her day went. You know what I'm saying? I give out my day went. But now, our problems go straight. Our counseling is drink, weed, partying, taking advantage of our
loud music
and everything,
TV and distraction.
Yeah, people die distracted. We die distracted, bro.
You've got a manipulation of the population that is currently engaging the gross deception, this thing that we call physical reality.
Their plan is working out, and the plan for them really is to not let us discover our light body, not let us discover our light consciousness and the power that we really truly have inside of us to change and bend and mold this matrix to our will and overcome and supersede where they are.
Right.
What they want us to do is just continue to stay in these small little pockets, fighting each other over scraps, and not really ever getting to the higher levels and realizing that we're supposed to be able to bring our heaven right here to this earth right now.
So you see, it's all a distraction to keep your head in the clouds and not focused on how powerful, how godly you are. how much you're really made in the image of your maker.
Think about it, 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 think
I don't know about that special ed.
Wrong place, wrong time. Watch out, so remember.
Know your limitations, to practice moderation. Moderation is not doing something too much, not doing something not at all. If you want to not do it, don't do it. But keep it right in the middle. That's all moderation is. You know, don't overdo anything. You can overdo anything. You can be an addict to anything. That's the kind of knowledge we sit around and talk about that led me to Henry. Like, man, you know what? This dude, he might have been here before. You know what I mean? He probably heard that before. But I know it has a lot to do with his home training and his spiritual growth. He's still on his spiritual journey. I want to say to Henry, I don't want you to ever stop with your spiritual growth, growing your consciousness. You know what I mean? Because none of us really got it figured out. That's the wisest man knows. He knows nothing. You gotta keep that mind frame, keep searching, man. I'll never think you know everything or know anything hardly. You know, just keep. That's
I listen to the 13-year-old. He makes sense. Like, a lot of people don't understand. They just let that anomaly kid talk sometimes. And that kid right there that's in that corner, that may be in your classroom, he might know something that you don't. He might be thinking about something creative that could be a lifetime
might be a
investment. You gotta stop kicking these kids that aren't considered to be seen as cool.
There are an endless number of parallel universes in our multiverse. Similarly, there are an endless number of these universes. In each reality, we are hurled into an endless number of parallel realities. He said, we had an original timeline, but immediately the anomaly occurred during the experiment, we were infinitely catapulted into an infinite number of parallel universes. As we talk, a reality switches into another universe somewhere along the way. This representation of limitless universes is our current reality. It's likely that CERN scientists noticed this abnormality in the space-time continuum. They went in and modified these classic events after discovering the anomaly, proving reality is not what we think it is. This idea backs up reports that the European Organisation for Nuclear Research is working on creating portals and making alterations to connect the universe. Max followed his argument by claiming that these notions about opening portals at CERN imply that we have other universes adjacent to us, and he related this to his idea of the Mandela effect. It also recounts how the particle accelerator changed one electron, shattering our reality and transporting us to another one. According to Max Laughlin, the Large Hadron Collider is the device that led humankind to move into a new universe.
Got this swag. It ain't about this book. It's about this mindset that we need. We're searching for. Ooh. I'm 22, so in 8 years from now, our kids are graduating. They're 18. These kids are shooting fast to moving up to the next future. Like 8 years from now, I'm gonna be 30. So I'll be already in my set moment. You know what I'm saying? 8 years from now, we pushing our next generation. It's not gonna be too long before we get to the next generation. So we gotta attack our kids in our generation that's in the 25, 24-year-olds to really start connecting with school, not just as rappers going to the NFL is cool. It's different things.
Yeah, make smart look cool.
Everything in the world looks so cool except for God. That none of the kids
really matters. What you said was the God point. You know what I mean? That spirituality, man. Because that's all that really matters, man. I mean, in the end, no one's gonna really remember that you were here. I hate to say it.
That's real.
But you know,
the most famous person is Jesus Christ. And what
that was
other man
2,000 years ago.
2,000 years ago.
You know, supposedly.
Right.
You know, we ain't gonna get into the history, but you know, even at that, he's known for getting rose from the dead. Right. So that's the feat you have to accomplish to even be known 2,000 years from now. Exactly. You know what I mean? Let's be real. What you gonna do? Sure. You know what I mean? They might remember who's the guy with all the money now? Elon. Elon. They might remember him because his legacy is gonna pass on through money. You know, he might have names on buildings and stuff like that, but...
The richest person in the world is not Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Even these billionaires' fortunes combined are of no match. Meet Mansa Musa, a Muslim king who ruled the kingdom of Mali from 1312 to 1337. He traded goods such as gold and salt, which came from mining salt and gold deposits in the Mali kingdom. Mansa Musa built a fortune that accounts for more than $400 billion. He was famous for his generosity. He always traveled in fashion. When he went on a pilgrimage to Mecca, he took 60,000 soldiers and dozens of camels, each carrying 136 kilograms of gold. He gave away so much gold that the overall value of gold in Egypt decreased for the next 12 years. He used his wealth to build new cities and expand his empire, and Mali became the wealthiest kingdom in Africa. And now you know that.
You don't have to take this stuff that you're taking so serious. Nothing worth killing over. You know what I mean? Unless you're defending your family or, you know, someone you love and cherish. You know the rules.
It's mostly on that end. Most kids, we see the movies and turn it into reality. We try to be something that we're not, and it turns into something that you gotta go nose to nose with that you're not even fit to do.
You ain't built for that. All right. My close peoples that winded up somewhere they ain't want to go because, you know, over the years they started off exuberant. They had hope and was looking forward to the future, and then next thing you know, them streets just grab them. It's like, come on with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, making evil look good and good look evil. That's what's hurting us, man. We don't know the route in hearts. We don't know where our heart is placed at. Because like you said, you brought it up, counseling. We not taking that time to slow down.
Slow down. Slow down.
Hype. Yeah. Head crack. You smoked up that stack in a minute you was back. Hey, yo, ex, wasn't that your girl? Yeah, I had to drop her because she caught on the plastic and I just couldn't stop her.
Slow down. Slow down.
I used to always think, I gotta chill, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta make my friends proud. But it took me to understand, okay, where's my counseling, where's my plan? I forgot my plan just by moving so fast. Even if you're in the streets, you gotta know how to slow down.
Slow down. Slow down.
Hype. Yeah. Head crack. You smoked up that stack in a minute you was back. Hey, yo, ex, wasn't that your girl? Yeah, I had to drop her because she caught on the plastic and I just couldn't stop her.
Slow down. Slow down.
How you gonna get yourself out of this situation? It's a way, man. You just gotta put yourself in this spirituality. And, you know, I know you got different beliefs, but you gotta be able to pray to God, focus in. I
believe in prayer, bro.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta be able to humble yourself.
Prayer is an affirmation. Your words are so powerful. If you're made in the image of God, that means God spoke all this into existence. Within you, though minuscule at this point, you have the potential to speak things into existence, man. Because you're made in an image that does that.
It's what in sacred geometry we call scale invariance.
So in terms of scale, if everything is basically seems to be a replication over and over, the same shapes, the same patterns, that replication would indicate that we are in a replication of a replication of a replication. Everything's an emanation, like a reflection of something great, and then it reflects something a little lesser. So that would tell me, within you, lies a universe. What you think your dream is all about? That's a whole other universe that you're in. This is very...
They're in higher scales. It's what in sacred geometry we call scale invariance.
We're walking in the digital good time. Digital good time. Fuzzy logic.
You know what I mean? So, man, when you speaking this stuff, like all these things we're hearing coming into our head, this, you know, music we listen to, these movies, like that stuff is really
attacking the spirit. That's attacking the spirit. We got these NBA Youngboy fans, as we know, attacking people off of music, bro. This is definitely a sign that we in end time. When music ever encountered to make people go attack other people? Are we really thinking about that?
Music pretty powerful.
One song just making kids really want to do with that person.
What did they do back in the Civil War before they charged? They play the bugle. Like that cadence makes you like that music. Yeah, man, that music is the same concept. Some people think the whole universe is made out of sound. Yeah. That's how deep sound goes. Sound and light, man.
The source of creation is sound itself. And that takes us to what sound does. Sound pretty much does everything you can imagine because it's a source of creation. And this brings us to using sound as a tool in technology. Sound creates light.
I'm sure you knew sound creates things, right? You ain't know that. They've hidden a lot of knowledge, technology, which is based in knowledge.
Everything is only a light wave slowed down to a particular frequency. And so if you can match frequencies, you can merge with things. You can walk through walls and all that kind of stuff. The things that seem paranormal could be advanced beings have tapped into some type of understanding of how to match different frequencies in our dimension and appear apparitional or paranormal, but in true reality, they could just be taking a peek in.
You can see any place, you can see any point in time.
Anything else you want to tell the people?
As a black man, we need to really reunite. We need to find a different type of counseling. Every counseling doesn't have to be just a one-on-one. What about a 20-on-20? Having 20 guys sit down. Maybe let's get more guys on an interview to get their output on what they're struggling with so we can find a solution, fit that problem through and start getting closer to God, find a way to connect with Him. So that's the main thing. That's what we're going to count in the end. We're not going to be there for that. We're going to hang out with people.
Okay. I wouldn't expect nothing less from my boy Henry. And I don't think I mentioned, did I mention that my dad is named Henry? So,
just crazy.
Time he told me his name, I'm like, man, just, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, plus it was like sometimes your spirit and another, something else is speaking to you. You just gotta have your radar up. You gotta have your spirit ready. You gotta be in that realm of seeing the unseen. All the stuff you can see, that's where your vibrations at. Your vibrations in this material stuff over here. We over here in the spiritual realm trying to relate in godly terms. It might sound a little serious, but that's where you gotta take it, bro. Man, Henry, thanks for your time, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We definitely gonna do it again. Y'all look out for my boy. Y'all subscribe. Check me and my boy Henry out in the future. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.
want to ask you something, fam. What if I was fixing you a drink, and then I fixed mine, and then I fixed yours, put the ice in it, and I set them both up there. And I said, hold on. And I took a little container from under the sink and poured a little in yours, and then put it back under the sink, and then took a drink of mine. What would you think about your drink? I think you'd be concerned if I put something in your body that I thought was good for you. You wouldn't care what I thought. You wouldn't want me to put anything in your body. What about your brain? HouseHill's Dark Enlightenment. Peace.